In Venom Wars, we catch up with Silver Sable after the Istanbul job in a hotel with weapons all over the floor as she's getting her cheeks clapped by her boyfriend, Dominic. Dominic goes on to tell Silver Sable that he loves her and he doesn't care if the feelings are reciprocated. Dominic feels that one day Silver Sable will let herself feel vulnerable, but Dominic may not know Sable as well as he thinks. In New York, present day, we catch Liz Allen as she's getting chased by a bunch of zombiotes as she's in her symbiote form. Liz Allen is also on the phone with Silver Sable as she's recruiting her and the Wild Pack to deal with the zombiote outbreak. Silver Sable and the Wild Pack head out to go deal with the threat, as the Wild Pack consists of Silver Sable, Puma, Lightbright, Tarantula, Lena, and Strickland. There's also Nawab, who's more or less the outcast of the group. Now, the members of the Wild Pack are skeptical as they wonder if Silver Sable is telling them everything she knows. But nevertheless, the group has an outbreak to deal with, so they mobilize to the site of the zombiote outbreak. Upon reaching the site of the outbreak, the group is immediately attacked by zombiotes. But as Nawab is about to be bitten, Strickland beheads the symbiote. The group head to this lab as they have this soundproof tank they need to retrieve as part of their mission. But as they're attempting to retrieve the package, they're immediately attacked by zombiotes. But as the group is about to be overtaken, they activate the enhancements that Silver Sable equipped them with. As the group activates the enhancements, they all revert to a symbiote form. Now the Wild Pack consists of FaZe Strickland, Riot Puma, Scream Lightbright, Flicker Lynn, Lasher Tarantula, and Agony Nawab. The symbiote Wild Pack proceeds to engage the zombiotes. But during the scuffle, Nawab is infected, so his sonic emitter begins to beep and his symbiote leaves him. Nawab explodes, with a lot of the Wild Pack wondering what the hell was that. The group comes to the conclusion that it's the sonic emitter that Silver Sable equipped him with that killed him, as they all have sonic emitters equipped as a countermeasure. Now, the group does not take kind to this, but Sable tells them they knew the deal when they signed up for the program. But Puma is having none of that shit as he punched Sable in her chest. And during the scuffle, Agony sees a chance to grab a new host. So Agony grabs Silver Sable and proceeds to bond with her.
Like, come here, bitch, you're gonna become a symbiote.
Silver Sable begs her to stop, but Agony doesn't give a fuck. Agony bonds with Sable until they become the Silver Symbiote. Silver Sable ends up getting incapacitated, and while she's out, she thinks back to her final job in India with Dominic. Dominic would go on to confess his love to Silver Sable once again and try to convince her to stay for just one more night. But when it comes to someone like Sable, duty supersedes all, so she ends up leaving Dominic once and for all. In New York City in the present, Silver Sable would wake up with the Wild Pack standing over her. Sable was crying in her sleep, and Strickland noticed that. So as Sable wakes up, her symbiote proceeds to grab Strickland and toss his ass to the side. Sable makes her way back to her feet as the group still have a mission to complete. They come to the conclusion that Meridius is the guy that's been controlling the zombiotes as he's tapping into them like some sort of hive mind. Puma would go to the roof to focus his thoughts, and while he's up there, his symbiote would ask him when he's going to reveal the traitor. But Puma seems to be waiting for the perfect time and place. Tarantula comes to get Puma as they need to proceed on their mission, but Puma senses they're being tracked by none other than the Scorpion. Puma grabs Scorpion, but Scorpion says he's not here to fight as he's here for help. Scorpion is trying to get away from the zombiote outbreak and he thinks the Wild Pack can help him. But the zombiotes follow Scorpion to this location and they proceed to attack him and the Wild Pack. The Wild Pack uses their symbiote forms to get away, but unfortunately Scorpion gets infected. Scorpion proceeds to pursue the Wild Pack with the zombiotes, but the Wild Pack answers Scorpion with a hailstorm of bullets. Now, during all the chaos, the tank that Tarantula was carrying on her back ends up getting shot and it explodes. Now, that tank was part of a recovery mission, but luckily the explosion at least took out Scorpion and a fuck ton of zombiotes. Now, the Wild Pack regroups and makes sure everyone's okay, but they're confronted by none other than Shriek. Apparently, Shriek was the one in this soundproof tank, as her sonic abilities make her the bane of all symbiotes. Now, the group needs Shriek in order to power a massive sonic emitter, that way they can take out the symbiotes in one foul swoop. But Shriek has other plans. Shriek proceeds to blast Sable as well as the other members of the Wild Pack. But luckily, Tarantula gets in one solid shot and knocks this bitch out. Elsewhere on the Mississippi Queen, we see Dominic Fortune as he's shaving after a night with two lovely ladies. As Dominic is on his balcony, he's confronted by none other than Silver Sable, his long-lost love. Dominic is happy to see Sable as he never thought this moment would come, but unfortunately for Dominic, it's not exactly what he thinks. Dominic proceeds to pass out as it would appear Silver Sable has spiked his drink. As Dominic passes out, the rest of the Wild Pack appear as they plan to commandeer his ship. Silver Sable thinks back on her training years ago where her dad taught her if she's going to be an operative and put together the Wild Pack, she needs to be cold. No, she needs to be colder than cold. And she needs to do it all without shedding a tear for the one she loves. Dominic comes to and he's pissed off as he claims he was always nothing more than an asset to Sable. As Dominic goes on, Sable's not trying to hear it, so she tapes this fool's mouth. Meanwhile, the Wild Pack is putting together this Alchemax amplifier to create a sound channel to kill the zombiotes in one foul swoop. Now, the battery that powers this amplifier is going to be Shriek. Now, Strickland is supposed to take Shriek somewhere safe until the appropriate time comes. But instead of doing that, Strickland proceeds to beat the shit out of Shriek before shooting her off the edge of the boat. Meanwhile, as the group are putting the last touches on this sound amplifier, a helicopter flies overhead and starts dropping zombiotes directly on the group. Zombiotes start swarming the boat from every angle, so Silver Sable and the rest of the Wild Pack transform in their symbiote forms in order to answer the call. Meanwhile, Strickland is inside the boat at the casino playing blackjack. Since Strickland has already killed Shriek, he knows they won't be able to power the sound amplifier. But Strickland ends up being confronted by Puma, who was on to him since Strickland deactivated his sonic emitter without telling anyone. Meanwhile, we see Dominic Fortune breaking free of his bonds and making an escape. Now, as Dominic is escaping, he runs out into a symbiote hellhole, but he runs into none other than Shriek. Shriek sees a golden opportunity, so she grabs Dominic and takes his ass hostage. Meanwhile, as Puma beats the shit out of Strickland, he manages to reactivate his sonic emitter and make Strickland go boom boom. Meanwhile, on the boat deck, Shriek has showed up with Dominic Fortune in hand. Shriek wants to negotiate with Sable, but Dominic thinks Sable never had feelings for him to begin with. Silver Sable charges Shriek only to eat a blast directly to the face. But luckily, Silver Sable still manages to draw her weapon and immobilize Shriek. With Shriek immobilized, Sable straps her into the Alchemax sound amplifier. But Dominic draws his gun as Sable has attacked his ship and now she's about to kill this woman. But Sable smacks Dominic aside, then takes his pistol and shoots him in the leg. Sable activates the sound amplifier and her and the Wild Pack take off with a job well done. But as Tarantula goes to check on Dominic, Sable tells her to leave him because he doesn't want their help. Tarantula apologizes to Dominic and then takes off with the rest of the group. The group take off and reconcile with the fact that Strickland betrayed them. But as Tarantula goes to check on Sable, Sable is curious As to if Dominic said anything at the end, Tarantula says no, but in reality, Dominic survived the last 100 years and he vows revenge on Sable. Sable sheds one last tear, even though it's against her training as an operative. The end.